real life.
Thank you. Well, we are back, and we are back after a series win. India has
Fantastic.
defeated West Indies by quite a few runs, by 60 runs. Uh, I I would love to say all round beautiful, wonderful match, but I don't think I can always say that all round word because yes, we have won by 60 runs, but there have been catch drops to talk about, and batting also have a few points to talk about. So let us start. Welcome Snehashish Mukherjee, and first of all, happy with the win. Needed to get back to winning ways after the brutality faced in Australia.
Absolutely. I think we both mentioned in the previous live that ultimately the win is needed, especially the series win was much needed at that time, for the moral boost of the whole camp. I think it was needed. So, and the way team, performed in a series decider, I think that's a very good positive to take. I think you scored, you registered the highest ever total by Indian women in T20s in a series decider. Obviously, when you're playing at home, you should play like this in a series decider, because you are playing at home. You have to take advantage of those conditions. So overall, I think it is a good day. In the morning, under 19 girls also won. So it has been a good day overall. For the Indian women's cricket.
Absolutely. Let's now go and break down the match. So
Yeah.
first of all, of course, we have to start with Smriti Mandana. Three consecutive half centuries. I would
Hmm.
love to say fantastic batting, but something is stopping me. And that something is the fact that be it match one, be it match two, be it match three. Two things that I've noticed. First is West Indies bowlers have made no effort to make the correction in their bowling line. They have
Hmm.
continuously been bowling down the leg to
Hmm.
Smriti. And today, they actually added something. They added the short ball to it,
Hmm.
which by the way is very effective to Smriti if you are not bowling round the wicket and outside, in that
Option.
stump area. If you
Hmm.
are bowling over the wicket and you are bowling, you are actually
In the
playing into
body.
the of Smriti Mandana. Absolutely.
Yes. Hmm.
So one is the West Indies bowling, taking
Hmm.
nothing away from Smriti Mandana. You can bowl a
Hmm.
full toss and the batter can
Exactly.
hold out. But
Exactly.
the other portion or the other part is the catches dropped by West Indies, and it is not one match; it
Hmm.
is all
In all.
three matches
Exactly.
across the series. So, would you say that Smriti Mandana is in the form of her life, which a lot of people are saying? Or would you say, of course, she's a very good batter with the luck, and she has capitulated on that luck?
Exactly. I think the last line was correct that when you are being lucky, I think you should capitalize on that. I think in the last match when three catches were dropped, we are unhappy because you ultimately got out in a soft. It was a soft dismissal for her. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so that shouldn't been happen. But today again catches were dropped. I think both teams were very bad throughout the series when it comes to fieldings. Both teams. Even India today dropped a few. We'll come to that obviously.
Yeah.
But overall, I think she is batting well. I think in terms of confidence, she will be very much confident going forward to the ODI format. And we all know that if you compare format wise, I think ODI format is much suited to Shruti Mandana's batting, and I think she will be very much confident that 100 in Australia and then three consecutive 50s. And last two came as as a leader, so I think that will be very much pleasing to her. So overall, I think she will be very much confident. But yes, obviously, you have to think, as you mentioned, that West Indies have not looked that much lethal with the bowling. I think in the second match they were, in that game from the ball one, with all the plans. But today also, but again today, I think they do not look like as a whole unit. They didn't click as a whole unit when it comes to bowling. So I think it has been a disappointing series, as a whole unit for West Indies. And I think before the start of the series, we both mentioned in the live that after the T20 World Cup, this team is going to play their first match. So I think there should be a rustiness, and I think the rustiness, was there throughout the series for West Indies.
Absolutely. And the rustiness, Yes, of course, one part is rustiness, but the other part is West Indies did a West Indies. You know, there will be one match where West Indies will absolutely murder you, kill your confidence, make you feel like a fool, but then
Mm,
the next match they'll come up and say,
exactly.
"Oh, we don't know how to bat, we don't know how to bowl, we don't know how to feel." So it's a mix. It's always like that with West Indies. But Jemimah, I think they stuck to the same plan with Jemimah.
Mm,
Two things changed in the plan. One, Jemmy was coming out of her crease and batting,
mm,
and nothing was done to counter that. That's point one.
mm,
The other thing that Jemima did very well was she saw
mm.
that they are not getting their lines right to Smriti. So in the
Exactly.
power play, she just took singles and gave it to
Mm,
Smriti. The bowler started losing the line. They had to bring in Helly Matthews, and that is when Jemmy
exactly.
attacked.
Jemimah cashed it. Yes.
But where I think West Indies still did well was the fielders. They got the boundary riders in the leg side
Mm,
right. That is one of the reasons that Jemmy did not get her sweep correct. I mean, she did not get boundaries out of that sweep. That sweep shot is one of her most productive runs.
mm, mm, mm.
But
Absolutely.
here's my question. So every time the ball is in the middle stump, all Jemmy does is sweep. So a
Mm,
West Indies side has placed the fielder. Australian side will too. English
yeah.
side will. So
Yes.
do you think somewhere against spinners also Jemmy is getting a little repetitive, a little stagnant, and that's why probably the big runs are incoming, the 30s? Sure. Because she
Mm,
is a genuinely good batter, but not
exactly.
the big runs. And even today in that 30s also there were two, three lucky here and there, while playing
Mm.
the sweep shot, there were top edges which didn't go to hand. So you think a bit of stagnation in her style of play?
I think it is. Yeah, everyone knows that sweep is the most productive shot for Jemima Rodriguez, and she is excellent when it comes to playing sweep shot. But I think as a opponent team, West Indies were expected to come up with some plan, especially after the knock that she played in the first T20. So I think last in the last match they were on it. The plan worked. Today the plan worked a little bit, but still I think the ultimately the knock she played, I think it was okay. I will say as per the as per needed, the innings was okay, I think. But overall I think absolutely, I think the observation that you have made, that is absolutely correct, that if the plan is now for every team that okay, we have to block that sweep shot, so that now Jemima have to try something new to score some runs, have to play against the spins also, and maybe some reverse sweep ball. So I think that's a new angle of the game that she needs to work on. Hopefully maybe today one match happened, previous match also, maybe one or two more matches, if she gets same kind of fielding setup, I think then she will work on that. I am hopeful about that, because I believe that Jamie is one kind of a batter or maybe player who always looks for that improvement. Okay,
Absolutely.
and she so I believe that if the same plan is going to be repetitive for opponents, I think she will definitely work on that, and she has that skills to play different kind of shot. And and you have to, and if you have to be a successful batter in international arena, for every ball you have to keep around 2 3 shots. You
Correct.
know, so I think Jamie is one kind of a batter who will definitely work on that if she gets fail due to the same trap. But as of now, I think it has been a decent series for her as a batter.
I know a lot of people must be thinking that
Mm.
why exactly aren't we discussing the mega innings? We will come to that. We will come to the Richa
Yeah,
Ghosh innings, but before we do that, of course, we have to talk about Ragvi Bish. Ragvi Bish
very impressive,
showed a
very
lot of
impressive.
promise. And honestly, what I liked about Ragvi was when Richa was going boom, boom, boom. Ragvi
Mm.
was quickly going off strike and giving the strike to Richa that
Exactly,
okay, she
good
is on
awareness.
song. Absolutely, she's on song. I don't need to
Mm.
unnecessarily, lose
Mm.
my wicket and kill that rhythm.
Exactly.
So let's talk about Ragvi Bish. A good pick.
Definitely, I am very impressed, in with today's knock, because as you mentioned that when Richa was going bang bang, and the other side, she was very calm, she was very supportive, taking those singles. And she also played at a good rate. If you see the ultimate strike rate, it was a decent strike rate for a batter. And she's coming to bat at number 4 at at typical position, I will say, in T20 format. You need those runs from that position. And she looked very comfortable. She looked very confident. And she was kind of happy, like it.
Nomonil, Nomonil,
হ্যাঁ দিদি।
you are in the stream. What are you doing?
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
please continue.
sorry. Yeah, so I think overall she looked very, positive. She looked very positive, and it never looked like this is the only second time she is batting, for India. She looked that much comfortable. So I am very impressed with the knock that she played. Hopefully, more good innings to come. And I just hope that this management keeps giving chances to Rugby Bish. That not done. Once it is done, now give another player. Forget Rugby Bish. Don't do that. Please continue, give another series. Okay, so then you can understand what one player with one innings, you cannot understand how good that player is, right? Give another series, give another opponent, because she is new to international cricket. West Indies are very new to that player. Another opponent when they will come with different plans to her. They will see the clips, they will see how she plays, so they will come up with a new challenge for her. And if she responds to that correctly that time, I think then you can say, okay, she is very ready for the international cricket for a long run. So I think good start to her career. Let's see how she goes in the next series.
Absolutely. I think when you're talking about the next series, we'll keep it towards the end, right? So, because I have a few questions, obviously, on
Yeah.
what composition do you think the team will have. But
Mm.
before that, we really need to talk about Richa Ghosh and the fastest 50. I think the best part was she came out to bat. Of course, there was a foundation. See, that is why it's
Mm.
important to have a foundation, because she had a
Yes.
foundation, and she had all the license to kill. And she decided,
Exactly.
oh, why not? She came out to bat. First ball goes for a six, and then on, did not look back at all. I think we can easily say that the more impactful innings of the 250s was definitely Richa Ghosh, and it has got nothing to do with uh, who who scored how much. It's just the impact. I think completely broke West Indies' backbone.
Absolutely. I think she had all the freedom, and obviously due to that, the foundation that other batters at the top, managed to do. And we all know that Richa Ghosh is the X factor, is the powerhouse of this team. And on a day, she can do this kind of thing. And especially today, the way she batted, I couldn't realize that how quickly she reached that 50. Suddenly I saw, oh, she just hit a six and she reached 50. And this 18 ball joint fastest with Sophie Devine and Phoebe Litchfield. So that's a massive world record to her name, and truly deserving. I think from the first day, I think Tushadi can tell very, very close, because she has observed her very closely. So she can tell about more about her. But what I have seen, so far in international cricket, I think she has all the qualities to be that power hitter for a long time, and somehow she has that consistency. I know that sometimes she doesn't get that much of ball to show that consistency, but when she gets around, I think 15-20 balls to play, I think if you see, if you give a parameter, okay, show me the stats of Richagos when she played above 20 or 25 balls. I think you will see maximum time she has scored a good amount of runs at a good rate. So I think she has that quality. But overall, I think India is lucky to have her in that team. Hopefully, they can use her. Hopefully, they can use her according to the situation in coming matches.
Absolutely. But you know what you said, I would add one line to that.
Mm,
I think when Richa comes out in conditions or in situations where
mm,
Richa does not really need to think, she can
mm.
just she
Exactly.
can just see the ball and hit the ball. She'll always give you runs. That part
Exactly.
is there. But if
Mm.
she has to put in a thought, like that's why you remember Snehashish, when she was sent out at 3, I was like, they're
Mm.
gonna kill this player. They're gonna just
Exactly.
end cricket for Richa, because that is not her role. She'll
Yes.
come on, she'll bring
The
the cricket.
anchor role is not Richa Ghosh's role. Richa Ghosh's role is typically finisher. You come out, you smash the ball. Simple.
Absolutely. I don't care finisher or no finisher. Richa has
Yes.
to be sent at any position and said, go and hit the ball.
Go
See
for
the
it.
ball, hit the ball. End of story. You get out in the first ball, I don't care. You get out in the second ball, I don't care.
Point.
You go for a 50 of 10 balls, very good. But you have to take that risk with someone like Richa. And when we are talking about batting, we of course need to talk about this interesting part. So let's go to the two pitches in the first two matches,
Mm.
and the dew part as well. Somehow it seemed like today the dew was a little more under control. The
Mm.
towels were out. The towels were there. Everybody was wearing the towel, all right, but
Mm.
they were not using it that much. Like last
Mm.
game, especially, the dew was pretty bad.
Exactly. I think seeing the second match, they expected a lot of dew, but somehow
Yes,
the dew was not that much.
and that's why bad decision to field
Mm,
first.
maybe. Obviously, Dew played a factor, especially after that match. Even when I saw, because I saw the Indian innings after some over. So when I saw the score and ultimately India scored that much run, I just thought maybe Dew is a factor. Maybe due to Dew, West Indies bowler, failed to grip the ball. So Indian bowlers, will go for some runs. It will be difficult for them also, but I think somehow Dew was not there that much. I think Indian bowlers did pretty well. And obviously, when you get the wickets of Heli Mathews and Deandre Rotin, it's 90% done for West Indies.
Exactly. I was just about to say, I think people will say I just say a lot of negatives, but it's not like that. I don't think India bowled really well. Maybe Radha was good today. And I'm
Yeah.
not saying that because she took 4 wickets. What I liked about Radha's bowling was she bowled a very controlled outside of flighted
Mm.
line, forcing the batters to play. Renuka did well, not giving away runs, not giving away easy
Yes.
balls. What India did the best, I felt, was the bowling to Kiana Joseph and Smriti Mandana using Sajana and off
Excellent.
spinner
Excellent move.
against Kiana Joseph. Oh, what a brilliant, brilliant move. Shreyashish,
Excellent
why is
move.
she not captain again? Why is she not our T20 captain again?
Okay, that's a different topic we'll discuss. but I think it was a excellent move. I think we have to give credit to Sajana also, because she doesn't bowl that much, but she was given that responsibility, and I think she was giving air to the ball. I think that was very much needed, and for that reason only, Kiana Joseph hit her for a six, okay, but in the very next ball she got that edge and Tita got the wicket. I think it was a solid plan, and the best part is the plan, okay, you have to execute that, and Sajana did exceptionally well to execute that.
Absolutely. I think the other part is, it's interesting for all rounders, you can say, or for any player. The moment one thing goes right for you,
Yeah,
everything starts right for you. Sajana
exactly.
has dropped quite a few easy catches in this
Mm,
series,
mm,
but she
mm,
got that wicket. I'm sure they had spoken in the dressing room. That
mm.
plan was executed well, and bang, that shows in her fielding. She took
Exactly.
good catches today.
Yes,
But the other
and
part,
and she hit
yeah,
1 4 in one ball like Mumbai Indians 6 now
one ball.
4.
Yeah,
Yes.
that is one part, decided. You can't send Sajna more than for one delivery. She will take one delivery, either six or four, end of story. But no, getting back to Kiana Joseph. So
Mm,
Kiana Joseph, of course, has a lot of power. But, and here I will draw a comparison, all said about Ragvi Bisht, but Ragvi Bisht also seems to have a you know, very small arc of hitting, much like
mm.
Kiana Joseph. Again, for a left-hander, a similar arc of hitting. That's quite exposable.
Exactly. I think it is very predictable game for Kiana Joseph. I think if you bowl doesn't if you do doesn't bowl according to the line, I think that day we're going for runs against Kiana Joseph. She will, as I mentioned several times, that Kiana Joseph is kind of a player. She will throw her bat anyway. If the ball hits the bat, it will go out of the
Anyway,
boundary. Simply.
yeah, exactly. If the ball
And
hits the
she do- and she and I believe that she doesn't see where the fielder is. She doesn't think like that. She knows if the ball hits, even all players are lakeside, I will hit to the lakeside and the ball will go over the top. She is very that type of confidence she is. Okay. So even the best part is, even when she was struggling today, sometimes she was not middling the ball. Haley Matthews was so supportive at the end. I was saying that she was clapping, okay, you will do. So I think
yeah,
as a keeper, that was a good gesture from Haley Matthews. But I think the team also believed that that's the X factor Kiana Joseph has. Even if she misses 3 balls, if she ages 4 balls, next 4 balls, it will give them 20 or 24 runs. So I think that's the X factor of that player. But yeah, I think India showed that they are coming with a plan, and obviously today there was a plan, and it was good to see that the plan got executed properly.
I'll repeat what I keep saying. It's fantastic to plan, but it's one thing to plan and
Execute.
the other completely different thing to execute.
Yes,
uh, you
exactly.
know Things started falling in place, and India capitalized on that. India got everything in place. They had a plan, they executed it, everything fine.
Mhm.
But West Indies yet again proving their over dependence on Haley Matthews and Deandra Dottin.
Absolutely. I think when it comes to batting, forget Kiana Joseph, because with that X factor, she cannot be your consistent player. So only consistent players are two: Deandra Dottin and obviously Harry Matthews. And as I mentioned, in any match, if it is ODI or it is 2020, if you take the wickets of these players quickly, you are done with the match. You can win this game easily against West Indies, and you can see, you see the second match. Haley Matthews and Kiana Joseph batted like that. Haley Matthews remained not out. The match is done within 16 over. They chased down 160 like this. So and see, the fast and tedious match. You take those wickets and the match is done. You won in a convincing manner. 60 runs in a T20I match is a huge margin to win. So I think it is quite predictable. And it is not even before the series, everyone knew that these two wickets gonna be crucial when it comes to the batting of West Indies. So I think uh, as the match went by, from first match to last match of the series, India come up with better plans, and obviously they executed those also. So it's a good sign at the end of the series.
But here's my question. Chanel Henry is very angry with you. You're not considering her batting. You're just
That
randomly saying that she's losing.
uh, that came up a surprise to me also. I didn't expect
That's
Chennai Henry
completely
to.
out of syllabus. When
Exactly,
we
I
went
didn't.
out, I went to have my dinner thinking we need to eat quite quickly because now the show will begin. I go to get my dinner, come back, and I'm like, what? What's happening? What just happened?
Yes. Absolutely. I think that was a knock like Kiana Joseph played against England in the World Cup. Completely out of syllabus, suddenly came and blasted all around the park. So that was a surprising, not for us,
but
for players, for everyone.
but Chanel Henry in the last few months, or even
Mm.
has proved to be that you can rely on her if you need a 10 ball, 15 or 20.
I think usually in West Indies, whether it is men's or women's game, I think everyone is a power hitter. I think power hitting is a natural thing to them. So so
Right.
so I think everyone, if they work a little bit on their batting and the normal awareness of the game, I think they can score those quick runs. Anyone can do. But overall, I think only Haley Matthews and Deandra Routine are the class apart from
Absolutely.
others of
Absolutely.
this. But rest of the players, one day on their day they can be, they can play this kind of knocks. And as an opponent, if you are unlucky, then you can lose the match also.
Correct. That's true. Also, one thing interesting is, yes, West Indies lost by 60 runs, but probably the positive side that West Indies will take is that for a change in none of the matches did they get all out, for 80, 45,
Mm,
60,
yes,
some
yes,
weird numbers, because West Indies
exactly.
does, people thinking that I'm saying random things. No, West Indies has this habit. that
Mm.
one game they will probably score a 200, next game they're 45
Exactly.
all up. So
Exactly.
they would be happy that after the comeback of Deandra somewhere they
Mm.
have had somehow stabilized that
Mm.
145, 150.
Yeah, absolutely. I think as a side, you should be prepared enough to score at least 130 to 140 runs in any kind of situations. Obviously, if you're playing a match in Dubai like in the World Cup, 140, 150 was enough, to win a game. But in this kind of tracks where the track is kind of flat and dew are coming on and off, I think the the par score is around 160, 170 maybe. But if you are having a bad day, your star batters didn't score that much run, still you are expected to score around 135 or 145. So as a batting unit, West Indies must be happy that even if Deandra Dottin and Haley Matthews gets out early, still we are still managing to somehow play those 20 overs and score around 125, 130 runs.
Absolutely.
Because if you are
Absolutely.
batting fast and you are defending with this kind of bowling attack on your good day, they can defend those 125, 130 runs. So I think that's a positive that they will obviously take from this series.
Absolutely. Neil, can you just give the comments one by one? Can you please flash the comments one
Yes,
by one so that we can take it?
I can read it.
Yeah, you can read, but we also want to
Ah,
flash the names.
okay.
Snehashish
Okay.
and Trisha. Yes, we
Ah,
are that. I will say again. India is heavily
mm,
depending on Smriti and Jamie. I mean, Uma Chetri doesn't look up to mark, especially considering not against good bowling attack and good pitches.
good pitches.
You have seen Uma Chetri for 3 matches, buddy. Three
Yeah.
matches. And anyway, I think these are the last 3 matches of Uma Chetri's career now. She'll be dropped the next series. Come on. Because see, you can't drop Ragvi. I mean, you can.
Nah.
India can do anything,
Ah,
but
they can do anything because they are the right person. But
yes, the right person. But answer this, Snehashish. But on a serious note,
Ah, see, like means whatever they will do, anyone can perform. Still, you will say that they are over dependent on Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, right? Same here in women's cricket. Even if anyone come up and take 5 wickets or score a 50 like Richa Ghosh did, you didn't mention that it is a team heavily dependent on Richa Ghosh. Still, you are going to tell that this team is heavily dependent on Shriti and Jamie because they are that kind of quality player and they show
very
that consistency. That is why you are telling that I completely agree and that I'm not denying. But the fact is the sample size of Uma Chetri is very much small. I will say only 3 matches.
absolutely.
See, the first match she played with a great intent. She took the pressure of Shriti Mandana, and the power play score was 50 in 6 overs. So that's the start you need in every possible T20 match. But that cannot happen. The best part that I have observed in this series that the management I think had a clear chat with Umache to just go and play that attacking role. Whether you score or not, that we will decide after that we will keep you or not for the next series. But at least in these 3 matches, but at least in these 3 matches, you go and you play according to the plan that have been said that you play according, at your pace. Go for the attacking intent. Okay, one day she scored that. In the
That's
last
perfectly
match,
fine. Especially,
yes, in the last match she got a start and got out, and today she didn't. It's okay.
see, Akash, you have to understand that at the opening slot, if you
Mm,
first of all, I completely agree with Snehashish that the sample size is way too small for us to say that she's good enough or not good enough. The
mm,
other part here is you have to decide as a team management that do you want to go for runs at one end or do
mm,
you want a Smritish player at both
mm.
the ends? If that's the case,
Exactly.
then sure, replace Uma Chetri with I don't know who, but do it with somebody who
Yes.
can probably
But
settle down and then go for runs.
exactly.
Sorry.
But they next then don't expect to score 50-55 runs in power play.
Absolutely. You can't have
Mm.
everything, right?
Yes.
The other part is if you actually want a player to, play in the first gear in the
Mm.
power play, then drop Uma Chetri, get Shafali Verma back. I mean, this is the most ridiculous decision. But now that you have got Uma Chetri,
Yeah.
stick with her, give her 2 more series, and then let's decide whether she's good enough or bad enough or whatever. Because
Point.
I think next is the Ireland series.
Yes.
Right? So
T20.
Ireland should be much easier to play. Should give a lot of confidence to someone like a Uma Chetri.
Mm,
Ideally, I think you should persist, and we don't give Richa enough credit. Maybe because she comes down the order and scores those 20, 25s and not the 50s. But those are equally important to what Smriti and Jemmy does. I think what is
exactly.
now more important is do not play around with Jemima's batting order as well.
Please,
And
please,
do not
please.
play around with Richa's, batting order. And maybe stick to the same captain. Next comment. Neil, next. Yeah.
Yes,
Trisha. Okay, we have won the series, but we should not forget that our selectors have dropped the best pacer in the last 1 year. We have not
definitely.
forgotten, but we can't do candle march about it, right?
Yes.
We have not forgotten. And I think,
Yes.
you know what, Ayush? Look at the bowling figures. I don't think anybody can forget. So I'll tell you, in 3 matches,
Mm,
let's see most wickets. So Radha Yadav has 6 wickets, who has the most wickets, but today she took 4 wickets. That's 1 point. Now, talking about pacers, Titash has got 4 wickets.
mm.
Renuka has got just 1 wicket. Today she got the wicket. Saima has 1 wicket. In 3 matches, 3 pacers, one wicket for 2 pacers. I think that tells you the story, Ayush. It should tell the story to the selectors as well, but we are not the right person.
Yes. That's the ultimate line.
Absolutely.
Okay. Okay,
Neil,
that is
next
done.
comment.
Next.
নীল পর পর কমেন্ট চালাতে থাক তুই অ্যান্ড আনচিন
Tushadi,
লাইফ করবি তো তুই কোথায় চলে গেলি
yes, Tushadi, the problem I feel is that the series win will hide all that World Cup and Australia loss, and when the next World Cup comes, the same old story.
hide from whom is my question here. I am actually asking it back to Ayush. Hide from whom? If you're talking about the Indian team's accountability, then that was anyway not there, even after
Yes.
losing the series. So now winning the series is not going to make them any bit accountable. What is important is people who are holding the women's team accountable, will they keep speaking out or will they be happy with what has happened right now? That
Mm,
will be the more important part, I think. And for women's cricket sake, I'm just hoping that
mm,
people question
yeah.
Shongbit Datta Bishwas, but Smriti
Mm.
and Jemmy will still continue to choke despite being
Despite
such huge
being,
talents. Sir, ek baat bolu, for you, for me, for anybody, not every day is going to be the same thing. If the entire team is dependent on me and there's so much pressure on my shoulders, I understand that the inconsistency, where the inconsistency probably comes from. That goes for Smriti. For Jemmy,
yeah.
see, Jemmy has not been treated well also. Up the order, down the order, you don't know which order you're playing, you don't know what should be your playing style. um so probably under pressure, that's where they choke. And they have the experience enough not to choke. But I don't know. I mean, what happens, Snehashish?
I think with Jamie, I think the point that you mentioned, I think absolutely right. That too much chopping and changing in her batting order has always been a problem to her, and it will happen to any batter. I think please keep her batting at number three. I think I have been advocate of this thing for a long time now because whether it is T20I or ODI, Jemimah Rodriguez is your perfect number three batter. She can anchor the innings. She can play big shots after getting set. I think she has that all quality to be that number three player. And at number three, your base batter bat. And in this team, along with Shruti Mandana, you can say that Jemimah Rodriguez is your base batter. So hopefully this management will continue, but let's see. Surprises still come and come. Okay.
Neil, mute.
Uh, Sania Gulati, do do you think number three is the perfect spot for Jamie Nodias? Yeah, I just answered that. Number three is the best spot for Jemimah Rodriguez to bat in every white ball format, ODIs and T20s. I think she is the best suited batter in that spot. Based on her anchorship role, and playing capability of big shots. Okay, next.
Absolutely.
Oh, Snehashish, are you both surprised that India women has not won a single T20 home series in previous 5 years? Yes, absolutely. I think before the series, when I was going through the stats, I was a little bit surprised. We didn't have won 5 years T20 series. How can that be possible? But I think many series were like 1-1. Some rain affected matches were there, so like that only. So,
Oh,
but
you're giving the benefit of the doubt. I like it.
yeah, yeah,
And
okay.
I
Sometimes,
like it.
sometimes benefit of the doubt should be given. Okay, go.
Sure,
Okay,
of course, of
yeah,
course.
you have won a series today just for one day. Take this benefit of the doubt.
Okay. What was the difference in the plan of attack from our batters against Dotin today that made it successful, or was it just ill-disciplined bowling from Dotin? Uh, I'll answer that
Yes,
because
you do.
I have an answer.
Mm,
I
yes,
think I'm quite sure it was point number one. Point number two. Sorry, it
yes.
was just disciplined bowling. If you see that Doughton, kept bowling short and gave enough room to Smriti to um,
Mm,
cut the ball. But most importantly, she kept bowling at that angle where Smriti could pull. And we know how good a puller of the ball Smriti is. So I think Doughton, the other part that Doughton didn't do, and Saima did really well, Doughton did not bowl a slow ball, which is what is important in a flat pitch like this. And that is
mm,
where I think Doughton missed out. So there are two things. A, she was not disciplined. She was bowling either leg side or outside of. There wasn't a channel where she was bowling.
mm,
And the second part was she did not use any variations.
mm,
The pitch wasn't slow, so she should have used the slower ball. That is where I think Doughton got hit.
exactly.
Trishadi was
Trishul-
Haraman. Haraman? No, it's Harman. Haraman's
Herman
body
really
injured,
enjoyed, so she also
so
has a
she
spasm
also
like
had a
a man.
spasm like our
No, 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 no.
Meg.
She's really injured, and the knee injury
Okay,
is there.
there's a knee problem. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a knee, and this knee problem is not new. It was in the World Cup also.
You should not have said that because then I'll ask questions.
Eh, no.
Now, Snehashish, I'll have questions then.
No, no. Actually, I will say why I'm saying this because when she came for the press conference before that Australia game at Sharjah, she was having an ice pack. I think I also said that time in the live also that we all got scared seeing Harman with that. Oh, what happened? If she's gonna play or not. But she completely said that there is some issue, but I am completely fine. I will play. But in that World Cup also you have seen, and I think in this series also, the first match you have seen, even I think in the New Zealand match also, I think she batted and didn't field. So I don't know. I think there's some issue in the knee. It has been continuously giving her some problem.
I have a question then. May I, sir? Then why are you carrying her with the injury? Why exactly are you carrying her? It's not like she's
Yeah,
in the form of her life where Harman,
yeah,
every time she's coming out to bat, is scoring a
yeah,
against Australia. Chalo, I understand because that was a
yeah.
make or break game. But after
Mm.
that, what happened? Why didn't you rest her?
Exactly, exactly.
Or
Personally,
is
I
Harman
also
not
believe that.
prepared to rest because
Exactly,
her
exactly. I think any player with this kind of, if he or he is having an injury, I think you should be given a rest. Take your time to become fit and come back. And you are the captain of the side. You don't need anything. You will get fit and you will
you
straight
don't
get
need
back
anything
to the
with
team.
what? You can get
In
away with
you
everything
don't need
because you're the
you don't
captain.
need to perform or something. You need a
You
domestic or
don't need to
something to.
perform. You don't need to perform if you're the captain.
No, no, you don't need to perform in the domestic, na. You have to score those runs and come back. You are the captain
I
of the
see, I
side.
see, I
Yeah,
see, I
so
see.
that is
Of
why. Yeah.
प्रियांशु त्रिशा दी आप ऑस्ट्रेलिया का एग्जाम
Good question. Good question.
अभी
Ah,
आपको 48 घंटे वेट कर लो नहीं एक्चुअली
ah,
48 नहीं थोड़ा सा ज्यादा वेट करो 70 घंटे वेट कर लो ऑस्ट्रेलिया से हाई बोलूंगी मैं
ah.
आपको
देखो ऑलरेडी योलो पहनना शुरू कर दिया देखो.
मैं मन ही मन ऑस्ट्रेलिया में जा चुकी हूँ यहाँ पे बस मेरा शरीर है आत्मा ऑस्ट्रेलिया में but on a serious note we'll take some more comments here
Yes, I think lots
uh,
of comments. I'm
yes.
taking. Well. Yeah, Asim Hans, an unchanged side. Perhaps it's not a game of musical chairs or roulette after all.
Yes, that was the first thing. My first reaction, Asim, was exactly this, that I think the software is down today. The software which chooses the playing 11 is down today. That's why we are going in with the same playing 11.
Yeah.
You know,
I think it is good that ultimately we saw this kind of thing happening. Okay. Next comment from Asim. Okay, Akash. Is this the end of Harman, the T20I captain? Especially Smriti winning WPL, winning T20I series in home after 5 years, and poor performance of India while women in T20 World Cup.
Akash,
Tushani.
I will have a return question for you.
Yeah.
Why is it now the end of Harman, the T20I captain, and not right after the World Cup? 5 years we have not won a single home, T20I series at home, and this 5 years nobody else other than Harman was the captain.
Yes, absolutely.
Um, the other point is, now is it the right time? I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. Because what will you? Okay, so here's my question, Snehashish. So would you have a separate captain for ODIs and a separate captain for T20Is?
I don't know. See, I think split captaincy, develop some groups. What I believe. I think split captaincy, define captains, define format, and it is not like red ball and white ball. It's completely white balls in both formats, like T20
Correct.
and ODI. And I
Correct.
think and if you see the pool of players that India have in this current lot, I think maximum players play both formats. It's not like you have 8 or 9 players for T20s only, or 8 or 9 players for ODIs only. So if that was the case, I think that would have been helpful for those captains if there was a split captaincy. But if the same kind of players are playing, both formats, I think it is very hectic to be, to manage that split captaincy. My Harmanpreet playing under Shriti as captain in T20s, then Shriti playing under the captaincy of Harman in ODIs. So it's kind of very confusing. So
Now that you say that, and I completely agree with you.
yeah.
Tell something about ODI World Cup preparation and preview. Is India has any chance in home World Cup, and India favorite format? Um, of course, India has chances. I mean, come on, you cannot write off the Indian team, that too in our home soil. But I'll just continue the captain discussion for a little while. So here's my point. I also think that I think in a similar way that you cannot probably have two different captains in different formats. It's a little odd that one is playing under the other in one format, the other is playing under the. So there's a lot of
Very
confusion. It's
confusing.
a confusion
Yes,
among the team members, I feel.
exactly, exactly.
But if that's the case, then with the ODI World Cup, say 7-8 months from now,
Mm,
three series down, because Harman is the captain in the series.
mm,
Smriti is the acting captain because Harman is injured.
yes,
So the question remains, is it too late to change the captain now for the ODI World Cup? The T20
absolutely.
World Cup is in 2026. So that
Yes,
is
yes,
fine. You can still change the T20I captain.
yes,
But if
yes,
that
yes.
is the logic you use to change the
Mm,
T20I captain, then again you have to go for split captaincy, because how
exactly.
many ODI series are you going to get after this?
I think very few. I think 4 or 6 matches maybe. I think 6 matches maybe.
If that's the case, if you have 6 more matches after this, or 10 more matches, whatever, 7-8 matches
Mm.
after this, then isn't it way too late to change your captain?
Obviously, it is late. I think if the captaincy would have, given to Sriti Mandan or to anyone, it should have been happened straight after the T20 World Cup. Because I think a
Absolutely.
meeting held after the T20 World Cup over the performance, among all the, captain and coaches and the management. I think in the after that meeting, I think if they thought, okay, this is the high time, to give the captaincy to a different person, it's time for Harman to play normally as a batter. I think then it should have been happened. I think it is too late. And I think after the Australia series, I mentioned that just a gap of 2 3 days, you are starting another series. Then again 2 3 day gap, you are starting a ODI series against West Indies. Then again 2 3 day gap, you are playing against Ireland. So I think it is done. What I believe that it is done. You are playing under Harmanpreet's captaincy, whether it is T20 or ODI, at least until the ODI World Cup. After the ODI World Cup, if India doesn't
It'll
do well.
be for the T20 World Cups, Ashish.
Exactly. No, I think that then you have 1 year, na? I think 6 7 months
It's the same.
for the T20
It's the
World
same
Cup.
thing right now. It's the same thing. You have 6 7 months for the One Day World Cup.
Yeah, but I think ODI.
No,
I
but then
think
you have
for
to talk about series now, Baba. You have to talk about series. How many series are you
ah
getting from the ODI World
yeah,
Cup to the
that is
T20
also
World
a
Cup?
point. Hmm.
If it's 3 4 series, then it's becoming the same thing. It is not only about the number of days you're getting, it is also about the number of
Hmm.
series you're getting.
Yeah.
Had
Number
the
of
captain
matches that you are getting.
Absolutely. Had the captain
Hmm.
been changed right after the T20 World Cup, you would
Yeah.
have by now gotten six, nine one-day matches and three T20 matches. So that is 12
Yes.
matches for your captain to settle in as the captain, and for the entire group to then settle in around the captain. Whether it's Jemmy, whether it's Smriti, whether it's Harman, doesn't matter.
Yes.
But now
Yes.
that you have
Absolutely.
persisted with Harman, can they
Hmm.
play the same attacking brand of cricket against Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, and England? Are you talking
I
about
think
the skill or the
yeah.
mentality?
Yeah, that is the point. I think can is a different pet.
Hmm.
I think they should try. They should show that intent, whether it is England, it is Australia or South Africa, or New Zealand, anyone. I think against any team, if you are persisting with this kind of intent, as a fan we will be happy that you are showing that intent. It's not that okay, Australia is there, we will save our wickets for 6 overs, score 25 30 runs, we will see after that when the fields are open, then we will score runs. That how today's T20 doesn't work. T20s doesn't work. I think in against any kind of opponent, I think you should keep this kind of mindset to score as quick as possible, especially in those power play overs.
Absolutely, I think perfectly put. Yeah, yes, Navani, sure. Show the next. Trishadi, when Herman said she's not the right person for who is selected or dropped, then does the captain coach not have a say in selection? Uh,
Yeah, bro.
they of course have a say in selection. They of course sit in the selection meeting. They of course decide who will play and not play along with the team of selectors. It has got nothing to the whole victimization thing, and putting everything on the selectors is just a waste of time for everybody. And I don't think the captain or the coach or anybody should think that people watching women's cricket are that stupid to buy the point. Have you seen Ajit Agarkar making a team without talking to Rohit Sharma? Is that even possible? Think of it, Ayush. And you
Yeah,
watch cricket almost as much as we do. You tell me, do you really think it's possible that Ajit Agarkar will make a team without talking to, a Gautam Gambhir and a Rohit Sharma?
obviously.
Similarly, how do you think will Neetu David and the entire selection panel, I mean the selection team, go
Hmm.
and make a team without talking to Harman and Amal Mazumdar? That does not
That
happen.
not
In
happen.
fact, I have heard Smriti as the vice captain is also present in several of the meetings. This is something that I have heard. If that's the case, then Harman not saying the right person is just a very diplomatic, and I would say a very poorly diplomatic answer, because you are straight away throwing the selectors under the bus, which is not the right thing to do. Probably you could have said something like, oh, you know what, we are thinking of, which Amal Mazumdar comes with that answer. He would
Yeah.
say things like, oh, we want to check our bench strength, or we want to see how people are going. This is, I think, straight up throwing the selectors under the bus, and
Mm.
that doesn't happen, I think, because selectors are also as much part of the team as the players, the coach, the other management. So everyone
Exactly.
has to work as a team, and that is when you can't do that. Snehashi, I can't say all of a sudden that Snehashi did not come, that's why this did not happen, people. Okay, there's one more. Yeah, India 11 for ODI World Cup first match. अरे
वो
बाप
हो,
रे,
वो भाई साहब.
किधर चले गए भाई तुम?
ओके, फिर यास्तिका और शेफाली, श्रुति, जेमी, हरमन कैप्टन, ऋचा विकेट कीपर, दीप्ति, पूजा, श्रेयांका, अरुंधति, राधा यादव, रेणुका. This will be ideal 11 for India. Okay.
Seriously, what was that? He said,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, okay.
That was a very cold answer. But Akash, I'll tell you something.
Mm,
Yastika and Smriti in my head is not happening because Yastika, Smriti both are left-handed, and you don't want to give the bowlers that space to settle in because see,
mm,
West Indies bowling attack is a little abrupt. They inconsistent, but not Australia or England.
mm.
They will settle in that line because both are left-handers. So I think important part is to have a right-left combination. Whether Shafali makes a comeback or not will be interesting because always remember this that uh, making a debut is easier than making a comeback. So
Point.
I don't know how much will Shafali make a comeback, though she has had a pretty good domestic season. Jemmy at three, of course. Herman captain, yes. I don't see that changing unless Herman probably is actually pretty badly injured or something of that sort. And I hope
Mm.
that's not the case because Herman the batter is still one of the important batters. Richa wicket keeper, Deepthi. Um, Okay, for now we'll go with Deepthi, but I'm not 100% sure on Deepthi as well.
Shriyanka,
If
Shriyanka is there. Yeah.
Priyanka is there,
Mm.
Pooja, yeah, Pooja is absolutely vital. I think
Absolutely.
Pooja's fitness is one of the most vital things, and somehow Snehashish, people should concentrate on making sure that Pooja is fine, much like
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Puja Bhastaga is needed.
Priyanka.
Puja is needed for Team India. Puja is needed for Dev Sports. Absolutely vital.
Oh, well done, Sneha. Well done. Different pujas, but absolutely vital roles. Absolutely. For people not understanding puja, our graphics designer is
Yes.
an absolute gold person to have in the team. Do you think West
Okay.
Indies missed a trick by not bowling enough slower balls against Richa Ghosh when we bowled the tactic by all our spinners and pacers was to take pace off the ball? Absolutely what I told Asim. Uh,
Good
Sneha,
observation.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think slower. I think Saima Thakur bowled exceptionally well. Some slower balls. She was unlucky to not get a wicket because I remember that one ball Deandre Rotin missed and the ball just 1 inch away from the stumps. But she Saima Thakur has a very good control over slower ball. That's a very good sign. I think she has a
Yeah,
very good
Saima in the post match has said that she has actually practiced bowling that slower ball
control.
and she keeps
Back of the
practicing.
hand. Mm.
Yes, absolutely. The back of
Mm.
the hand slower ball. I think it's one of the most beautiful deliveries that I had learned during my stint as a coach come player.
Yes.
SS98. Does Harmanpreet Kaur become untouchable because she plays for a side like Mumbai Indians? Does that have any
Nah.
impact on the decision
Nah.
makers? Can't believe she still keeps the captaincy. Look, I think if that had the impact on decision makers, because I know this is a very famous thing which goes around that if you're
Mm.
Mumbai Indians captain, remember Hardik was the Mumbai Indians captain when Hardik did not become the T20I captain.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
and
Yes.
now think about the whole controversy and the way Hardik was brought into Mumbai Indians to captain
Exactly.
Mumbai Indians. That is where I think if Mumbai Indians had to have that much impact in Indian team, they would have had. So I don't think that has an impact. I just think we are not being brave enough. You know,
Mm.
um, See, Harman is a very very big player. So taking a call like sacking her from captaincy is a
Mm.
big call, and may sound harsh knowing that Harman has been a good servant of the game for India for a long while. But having said that, what are you looking for? If you're looking for winning a tournament, and if Harman's captaincy is not working, then maybe that's the way to go. And I completely agree with your last line. Can't believe she still keeps the captaincy. I think Snehashish and I had the shock of our life when, after that meeting, Harman was still the captain. And
Mm.
then just
Yes.
before the series, when the team was taking a lot of time to be announced, we were, talking that is it possible that they have finally changed the
Yeah.
captain? But of course, they
Maybe
didn't.
maybe maybe a big decision, a change is going to happen. That is why they're taking time. But nothing
But it was
changes.
just it was just a case of them forgetting. Probably forgetting
Richa
to announce
Ghosh,
it.
Richa Ghosh is the only X factor in this team. Priyanshu saying we need to find one of our kind. We need to, yeah.
One of her.
No, one of our kind. Yeah, one of our
Yeah.
kind. We all know that she is, X factor. I think
She is the.
Ashim Hans has a comment. Jamie may be the charmer, as Snehashi said after the last match, but Shruti is one leading a charmed life. Okay.
What exactly charmed life means? If charmed life means that she's getting dropped and she's getting chances, then yeah, sure, sure, of course. But
Yeah.
also that does not take anything away from Smriti, because I cannot
Mm.
point out this enough, that you can be bowled a full toss, but you still have to get that full toss away. So we'll give that part to Smriti. With Jemmy,
Mm.
I think Jemmy has had a very average last 3 4 months. Average, not poor. So yeah.
Mm.
Next, thoughts on Deepthi not being. Can you give that comment, Novanil? Asim's thoughts on Deepthi not being brought on. Yeah.
Mm.
Snehashish, take this.
Thoughts on Dipti not being brought in the power play, was it to avoid Dotin and Haley? Also, she was smashed by Henry. Maybe I think it was a plan that Sajana will bowl in the power play. But I think, see, Sajana, as I mentioned, Sajana doesn't bowl that much of over in every match. Okay, she generally bowls 1 or 2 overs mainly. So I think it was a trick that, okay, we'll use those 2 overs in the power play. Let them go for the big shots. If they make any mistakes, we take the wicket, because I think Haley Matthews has that game awareness. Okay, if she's bowling well, respect her, score those 1 or 2 runs and go for the big shots. But with with the other opener, sorry, I forget the name.
Kiana Joseph.
Kiana Joseph, right? Kiana Joseph with Kiana, I couldn't remember. Okay, with Kiana Joseph, I think there is no such. She will obviously going for the hit, and we just saw that today. The best part I already mentioned, that she was giving the air to the ball. Giving the time to the ball to spin. And Kiana Joseph hit her for a six. Okay, but she continued with that, and the very next ball she got that and got out. So I think it was a plan, and that's why Shruti Mandana went with Sarna Sajivan, and it worked well.
Can I give my answer to this? Because I have a
Yes,
little different take on it.
yes,
I think they didn't bring on, Smriti did not bring in Deepthi because one, um, both Doughton and Haley Matthews plays a lot of franchise cricket, much like Deepthi does the WBBL, WPL,
point,
and they
point.
faced Deepthi already a number of
Yes,
times.
yes.
So they will know Deepthi's variations. That's one. The second point is Deepthi is having a very average, average performance since the time she has started bowling a little flatter. And I'll tell you why that has happened. Because Deepthi at one point was bowling those death overs. When you bowl in the
Hmm.
death overs, you have to bowl flat, you have to bowl Yorkers. Now, what happens is somehow, now when she's brought in the middle overs, she has still not been able to change between the speed of the ball in the middle overs and the speed of the ball in the death overs. That is where I think she's still bowling flat, and
Hmm.
trying to bowl a little Radha Yadav, Ravindra Jaish, and that's where
Quickish.
she's getting smashed by Henry as well.
Hmm.
If you see, Henry was helping the ball, so it was already flat and the speed was provided. You know why Radha got 4 wickets today? Because she was looping the ball, giving it more air, bowling it a little slower. So she was kind of forcing the batters to come out and hit her, instead of someone like a Deepthi who's bowling at the bat, so that if you get the hit, I mean, if you can somehow use that bat swing, you will get runs. So I think these are the two reasons why Deepthi was probably not used.
Exactly. See
Just like
this.
Indian. But Priyanshu, that is not happening. Priyanshu, that is not happening. I think this is the style of play for West Indies, yeah.
Hmm.
Charmed life, catches being dropped off her. Yes, that's how.
Acha, Akash, Snehashish and
Just
Trisha,
yeah.
we know Priya Mishra is majorly a googly bowler, and you also know that this kind of Rashid Khan like bowler are more useful in T20s. Then why she was not given opportunity in T20s? I think we
because she got
discussed
hit for 88 runs in the ODIs. Come on, Akash, come on.
in 10 overs. Uh, in
In 10
10
overs,
overs
she got
mean
hit for 80.
2.5 T20Is. That is why in three matches of T20Is she didn't get a chance. Oh, I cracked a
Fantastic,
jackpot today.
fantastic. Akash, I think that is the only explanation we have. Because honestly speaking, why aren't you using a leg spinner when you are getting hit and getting hit that badly? It's not like none of the matches you can really say that the Indian bowlers did not get hit or something of that sort. So I think it's a stubborn, it's a stubbornness that we don't want to use Priya. And the only explanation that both Snehashish and I have is probably because we have seen this happening in this Indian team. We have seen this management do this before. Saika Ishak plays, goes for runs, dropped in the same way. I think Priya Mishra is going through the same thing, and I'm scared that without playing another match, Priya will probably make way in the team for someone like an Asha Shobna once Asha comes back from injury. Hope Vrinda okay, first of all, Charmed Life catches being dropped off her. Asim, I understood that. What you meant, and yes, I think a number of innings you will see Smriti has scored the 50s, but yes, a lot of catches have been dropped. SS98 hope Brinda Dinesh opens when India next plays a T20 I series. SS98, are you one of the selectors? Are you? Because it seems so. Why are you dropping Uma Chetri after one series? Come on, don't become the selectors. Give that poor girl three more matches. Yeah, come on.
Mm,
And when I say this, I'm not saying that Brinda Dinesh does not deserve a place.
obviously,
When you had Uma Chetri, you remember Snehashish, I was saying if you had to drop Shafali, why not Vrinda? So now
mm,
that you have not taken Vrinda Dinesh, don't drop Uma Chetri after two low scores, please.
exactly.
I don't know who am I requesting to, who is listening to me, but yeah, it's a request. As a fan, one thing hurts me in women's team. I have not seen much improvement in every individual players, like some new short variation, slower ball.
This
Um,
ये तो ये तो त्रिशा दी बोले.
ও এটা আমার থেকেও বড় কেউ বলেছিল I think Mithali Raj in one of her interviews said this, no, that it in the last few years the team has not shown a lot of improvement. What is Novanil writing? Our producer আগের comments, no more recent comments. হ্যাঁ তুই সব comments নে নীল আগের পরের যা খুশি নে so off topic, what's your view on Women's Hockey India League? Will it outshine WPL given hockey is a fast
Hey,
paced game, looks great on OTTs and digital media? Anita, I can only hope that nothing outshines anything, and both the
yes,
both the tournaments go up and forward and
yes,
have the biggest success, and especially because I think Women's India League, Hockey India League, could actually bring women's hockey back in that sort of a place where you go for the next Olympics, and that
yes,
that part would be more important. As far as WPL is concerned, I'm here actually looking forward to adding a few more teams in WPL and making it way more competitive and bigger. So I would hope both the you know both the leagues take off.
yes.
Amit
Oh,
Ganguly has heard what Novanil has written to me, and he has said enough is enough. We will give you more recent comments. Thank you, Amit, for that. First women team was underperforming. Now men team started to do that. When you think yourself bigger than the game will find ways to humble any team. I don't know who's thinking they're bigger than the game, honestly. I don't think, this is something I know we are taught as children, and we are told when teams don't perform, when sports people do not perform. I think you also have to understand that there is a human part to it, there is a skill part to it, there is a logical part to it. As I was saying, there are a lot of discussions that I see on social media that Deepthi has started bowling flatter, Deepthi is bowling flatter, Deepthi has lost that charm, but there is a logic behind it.
mm,
Deepthi cannot all of a sudden, from being ICC Player of the Month, ICC, highest wicket taker and all that, cannot become a bad bowler. Either she
exactly.
was always a bad bowler or something changed. And that's exactly what the thing that changed in Deepthi. If you actually think of it, she started bowling in the death overs, came started bowling in the middle overs, but brought in that death over skill with her.
Mhm.
So yes, she needs to reinvent herself, and at times I think with certain people, Sneha, she takes a lot more time to reinvent themselves. Probably.
Yes, yes. I think in that video that we did, I think we mentioned about Shruti Mandana also, that getting out to similar kind of deliveries has been a problem to her. Initially the short ball, then again soft spinner, and now again the short ball, while going for the cut. So I think that happens to any player. I think as a player, these players are very enough experienced and have played enough cricket to understand what is going wrong. Sometimes it takes a longer time to to rectify yourself, to be that kind of consistent again, after improving those small things. But it happens with every players. But 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 we are not saying that Dipti is having fantastic time. Obviously with the bat she has been pretty bad. With the ball she has been good. This series I think it was not a good series for us with the ball also, but it happens. You cannot expect her to be, to be her on A game in every series, especially with the ball. With the bat, we are still expecting to see her in that action. What we are not seeing, I think she knows also, but somehow she is not being able to, perform that with the bat. I think she will try her best to, to be in that position going forward to the World Cup. Especially, I'm talking about the ODI World Cup. But with the ball, Dipti is one of your top bowler, and you can say the match winner on her day.
Absolutely. Asim, do you think that a lack of matches or series left before the ODI World Cup is
For
causing
the
the management to go
management to
for
go
this
for this
haphazard
happen.
approach to give multiple debuts as they have an ample pool of problems?
One
But
point
see,
maybe.
but Asim, don't you think the first line is exactly the reason they should not go for this haphazard approach? Because you
Yes.
have a strict number of, I mean, absolutely 10, 12, or
Mm.
15 matches before the World Cup, out of which, if you actually think six matches are done, you
Mm.
have probably another six or seven, 6 to 10 matches to go. And if that's the case, then you have handed so many debuts. You cannot expect every single debutant to come and score a century or take 5 wickets. How are you exactly, testing your probables? Instead of that, shouldn't you have probably, why don't you carry 17 players instead of 15, say for an Australia series, but stick to your 11 or 12 and make sure you have your first playing 11 ready. Then the pool of players, make them play intra squad, make them watch them in the nets, probably make them ensure that when they're not playing the international series, they're back home playing domestic, and then probably keep that bench ready. But I don't think you can toy around with the playing 11. That 11 has to be your best 11. And currently, India does not have a best 11. That's a worrying sign because we are already, and exactly the first line that you said is what I keep saying in every live, that one more series gone. And you don't know how many more to go. One more series is gone. So, yeah, I mean,
Okay.
s-
Akash. Akash has a comment. Sneha in previous the 100. Dipti was, MVP for
MVP.
London Spirits and also helped win the maiden title. Yeah. What happened to her in the 4 5 months? Yes, she. I think the clip went viral that she hit that six and won the final. Yes, absolutely. I think in that tournament she was pretty good. Obviously, in with the ball, obviously, and then with the bat also. But see, personally, I don't consider that T10 or 100 something like that, as a benchmark of your performance, because all these T10 leagues and this 100 is kind of very, just for entertainment. I think T20 also started like that, but as it has become a international format, and it has been taken seriously as the year progressed. I think now everyone takes T20 seriously, but initially it also started in a just for entertainment. Okay, a 20 over game, players will have a fan. You will have to see sixes and all. I think that is why all senior players initially refused to play this kind of game, because they always believe that there is only two format, 50 over and T20 test. So that is the thing. And in the 100, I personally don't think about those performances that much. It's okay that when I saw find out that Dipti did well with both bat and ball, helped London Spirit to win the tournament, I was happy. Okay, some player from India helped our franchise to win, in England performing, that is good. But that cannot be the benchmark, that okay, she is in a great form, she will do the job for us. If that was the benchmark, then she should have batted pretty well for India also. So I think if she is not performing, then I think clearly performing in a 100 or in a T10 league, it's not the perfect benchmark.
Akash, how you should measure the benchmark ideally is ask yourself, was Deepthi performing before the 100 with the bat? And the
Mm,
answer that you will get is there was brief 2-3 matches that she
mm,
played a good role for UP Warriors. But other than that, when has Deepthi Sharma with the bat won you any match? Be it the 2017 World Cup, be it so many World Cups, World
mm,
Cups, main matches. No, she has not done it. Yes, probably she does that in bits and pieces when it comes to bowling, but
mm.
definitely not with the bat.
Bat. Okay,
Mandeep
Monday.
says Australia. Hey,
Hey, look,
what
look.
are you doing?
Wait.
No, 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 Mandeep. Normally,
Okay,
Mandeep's comment. Yeah,
you.
Australia team had a professional culture. They know how to win titles. This is the thing which India men's team need to learn. Women
Okay,
team had to work harder because their performance is going downhill after World Cup. Okay,
okay.
this is not a question. This is a statement.
Yes.
Um,
But the main team is doing good. I think no one expected them to be 3-0 up after three matches. I think it is a very harsh prediction
yeah,
for
yeah,
them.
what 3-0 up. Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
Border Gavaskar Trophy, and
Uh,
Australians at their back end has not come yet.
Exactly,
Yeah,
exactly. I think before going to Australia, if Rohit Sharma and Gautam Gambhir was told that, see, you don't
they
have
will
to
win
play three
the
matches. Yeah,
they
you
will
you
win
don't have
the
to play three matches. Your first three matches are in Perth, pink ball test in Adelaide, and then you are playing to Gabba, and so you don't have to play all three matches. You will go to play the Boxing Day and the New Year test in MCG and Sydney with a scoreline of 1-1. Do you agree? They will hug that man and go, well, okay.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, definitely
yeah.
agree with you.
So I think with 1-1, and especially the fight, the way they fought in the last match, I think they are doing pretty well. I think no one expected them to be 3-0 up in a Border Gavaskar Trophy in Australia. So I think they are
See,
doing
see
pretty
the
well.
next comment that Priyanshu has done and take the comment.
Priyanshu.
These chances to youngsters seems just tokenism. The squad is decided what Harman will want, she will select. That's the reality. Maintain 30 seconds silence. But Priyanshu, should I say this? I kind of agree with you. I think in her head, probably not only Herman. You can't blame. Okay, so here's my thing. You cannot blame Herman alone for the selection. You
Yes.
cannot blame the selectors alone for the selections. You cannot blame even Amol Mazumdar alone. I think it's a whole team, and the whole team probably has a decided number of people, or has a decided number of people in their list whom they want to give a debut cap or something of that sort. But I think the core team or the main team, if you have not made the change right after the T20 World Cup, is already decided in your head. So I kind of have to agree with Priyanshu. Where
Yes.
did you jump?
Mandip. Well, form goes up and down. Ultimately, the team result matters. You need to work collectively to good. Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Absolutely.
I think the Bumrah Akashdeep partnership was a great example. I think everyone felt the way those two stepped up. I think that was a pretty much good example. Okay, Ashim Hans, another comment. Yes.
Yeah.
As Niyashi suggested, we should be doing after loss in the second match. Nandini was not given her debut today. In the next
Okay.
series, is it too late for her in ODIs? And should Uma now be persisted with? Absolutely, Uma Chetri should be considered and should be given a chance. Absolutely.
In ODIs.
No. In ODIs, absolutely not. I think in T20s is okay. I don't know in ODIs.
No, Asim, see, this was a T20I series, right? So
Yes,
in
and I think
T20I,
Nandini Kashyap is not in the ODI squad.
yeah, no, no,
Yes.
she's not there in what?
Huh. No, she is not. She is not.
Exactly. I mean, but we are not. See, honestly speaking, T20I World Cup is away. So I'm a little confused about this question though. In the next series, is it too late for her in ODIs? Nandini in ODIs, why will it be too late? She has not even got the chance. तो
Absolutely.
लेट का तो सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता है. I think persist with Uma in T20 eyes is what both Snehashish, you were also saying the same thing, right? Because I was saying that you need to
Yes, yes.
persist with Uma Chetri in sorry, in T20 eyes. So no, in T20 eyes I think it'll be, I don't think it's chance for Nandini as of
Yes,
now. If you had to play her, you had to play her from the beginning of the series. And as far as the ODIs is concerned, Nandini is not even in the squad. So how will
yes.
Nandini play?
I think Pratika is there. I think
Yeah, Pratika.
Pratika is there.
Right. Trisha is on
Okay.
point with respect to women team selection and tokenism. Are we in mid 19th selection as that for men's team used to be? For men's team mid 90s selection, I have no idea. But can you preview ODIs? What's 11 in first ODI match? Oh, this is very interesting. Um, uh, I don't know about Harman's injury. We'll get back to you on that, Asim. No, sorry, Akash. But
Yeah.
other than that, if I have to suppose that Harman is injured, then I would go for Smriti. Good question. Do you go with Uma Chetri or do you go with Pratika Rawal? Snehashish.
Uma Chetri in ODIs, I don't know. I think in T20s is okay. Maybe Pratika having a debut. Maybe.
Sure, sure,
Hmm.
sure.
Hmm.
Okay. So if we go with Smriti, Pratika, Jemimah, if
Hmm.
Harman is there, then Harman next. If Harman is not there, then we should definitely go for Tejal.
Hmm.
Um, that's four, right? Number
Hmm.
five would be your Richa. Six would be six has to be Deepti with the ball.
Hmm. Hmm.
She'll be effective.
Hmm.
Um, so um, interesting. I think why not in six use probably someone like a Harleen Diol at number six.
Okay, yes, absolutely. And I think if we're going the team that you mentioned right now, it's okay, fantastically fine. Even Team India can field up this the same squad also. I think in the first match. But if I am Harlin Deol, then again the point that we are
Yeah,
making
yeah,
again and
absolutely.
again,
Three, seven.
yeah,
It's
then she will think everyone failed in Australia, even I failed. So why only
so I'm
me?
the one who's facing the music.
Exactly. So why only me? I am making a comeback after a long time, first of all. And I am
Correct.
playing not in home. I am facing Australia in Australia. It
Correct.
is a very difficult thing. So everyone failed. Our whole batting unit failed. And if you see all three matches, Harlindol, one of them positive, I will say. She played kind of small innings. Played some good shots
Third,
also.
no, third match he was effective. Third,
Exactly,
third
exactly,
one he
exactly,
was effective.
exactly. And only in the third match your batters scored 249.
Exactly, absolutely.
Okay.
Otherwise, we
So
were nowhere
yes.
there. So
So
it's just
exactly. So
maybe
again,
maybe
the same
see,
question.
I
So
mean
exactly again the same thing, same question.
maybe keep sorry, Harleen at three.
I'll
Fair enough. I mean
maybe
not chop and change her. So
exactly.
Harleen at three, Tejal or Harmanpreet at four. If Harman is fine, then
Then
Jemmy at five. You have
Jamie
no
at
other
five.
option.
Uh,
Yeah. If
yeah,
Harman is playing, then Jemmy comes at five. If
exactly,
Harman is not
exactly,
playing, then Jemmy comes at four.
exactly.
And then Stejal. There's
Hmm.
Richa.
Which
That's your five six.
Dipti, then Dipti,
Deepti. Then you will have spinners. But who do you want with Deepti? Do you want a Priya Mishra or a Tanuja Kanwar? I would say go with Tanuja because Tanuja gives you the batting, which Priya Mishra
Exactly.
doesn't.
Exactly.
So Tanuja
I was going to
Kanwar,
tell that.
and not only batting, Tanuja Kanwar actually gives you fielding as well.
Mm.
Tanuja fields superbly, and in that same area that Radha does, that back foot
Yes.
point
Yes. Mm.
area. So Tanuja, and then you will have the pacers, Titash, Saima, and Renuka.
Renuka. Okay.
Who is the better keeper? Richa Ghosh, Uma Chetri, Yastika Bhatia, Nandini. Uh, I think very interesting question, but
My top two will be Richa or Yastika.
yeah, whenever it comes to wicket keeping, I'll tell you why I kept quiet, because it was the one name that came to my head the moment you say who's the better keeper, because I genuinely think behind the stumps in India, the best keeper till date is Tanya Bhatia.
Mm.
So the moment it came as who's the better keeper, I felt actually a bit of sadness that Tanya's name is not in the list, and it is not Asim's mistake. It is, of course, because
Yes. Yes.
Tanya's lack of
Mm.
batting ability that has
Mm.
pushed her, way off. But I think
Mm.
among Richa, Uma, Yastika, Nandini, as a keeper, I would say Yastika better. But because Richa is a better bat, that's why Richa will
Mm.
be up in that order of things.
Yes. By the way, Trishadi, today 47,000 plus crowd was there.
Yes, that is so good. That
I,
is so good.
I was like, whoa,
You could
that's a
hear the
fantastic
noise. You
number.
could hear the noise. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
it's so good. And this is what, when people keep saying in social media, when people say who will watch women's cricket, there was nothing special about today's match. In fact, it was a
Yeah.
decider, and there
Mm.
were 47,000 people. And this
Yes.
is
Yes.
not even a weekday. Sorry, weekend. It's a weekday.
Mm.
And even and even then there were so many people. So it's such a wonderful thing, if you have the matches in stadiums where people like to go. See, that this is what happens.
Yes.
India has invested heavily on Yastika. Now it's for her to give back as she performed good in WBBL. I think Yastika will perform well, but the only thing is she's injured. She injured herself
Mm.
in WBBL, and she's still, still not well. Once she's back, I'm sure, because Yastika is a very so if Yastika is back, I think again Herlin's position is in complete worry, because I think Yastika then will be playing at number three.
Yes. And if not number three, you have to play Astika as an opener.
Absolutely. No, but you can't play two left-handers as opener, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
that is
then you
also a point. Yes.
you have two left-handers right at the top, and then all righties. That I
Yes.
don't think that
Point. Point.
works.
Point. Point.
So yeah. Uh, Snehashish, uh, last game it was 1 hour. Now it is
Yes.
almost 1.5 hours.
Yes.
Guys, it's good to have options rather than no one. Yastika and Harleen. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. We
Mm.
agree
Mm.
that it's Yastika and Harleen. It's always good to have options, but I hope India decides which one at number three, and maybe for the next
Point.
at least 2 3 series, have them play at that position. Uh, that's it for now. That's it for today. So far,
Yes.
it has been fantastic. Last game with all the questions that you were asking, Snehashish and I love answering the questions. We hope that you like our answers, and keep asking questions, keep
Yes.
interacting, keep joining. To think of this, to understand how much the women's cricket, as a whole has grown. It's 11:54 in the night, and
Mm.
people are actually asking questions. Even now they have doubts and proper cricketing questions. I don't even
Point.
call this a live between Snehashish and me. It's like we are giving adda with you guys.
Yeah.
We are just having a group chat, so it's
Yes.
fantastic.
Yes.
Snehashish, closing comments.
Yes, absolutely. I think yesterday we mentioned that it was one of the best lives that we have done, especially over women's cricket. I think today also, the way we all interacted, I think it was fantastic to see. First of all, to see that number, attending the match, I was so impressed. Seeing 47,000 plus people attending a women cricket match. So it was good to see. I think women, people should watch more women's cricket, should support them, because for players also to play in that kind of atmosphere is very much needed. That helps you to groom that you have to play, because obviously when fans are cheering for every ball, you are focusing, but still that works as a distraction. So apart, considering that distraction, if you perform, I think that added an extra boost. That okay, I was so focused, still that didn't matter to me, I performed. So I think as a player, I think for a player like Rugby Beast, what an opportunity, what an occasion would be, like, playing her second game, that to a massive crowd. I think she will be delighted. So I think overall, I think it was a good day. As I mentioned, under 19 girls own, senior girl owns and on the series also, it much needed. We interacted well. Hopefully, we'll see all you guys in the ODI series also. Tushadi will be in Australia, but we'll try our best, to come with the live if possible.
We
But
will.
yeah, yeah, we will
Maybe
definitely will. Yeah,
what's the timing of the ODIs? We will.
yeah, we will try. We will try. We will try. We'll because
Yeah, so the ODI
because
starts 1:30 here, which means I'll
yeah,
be doing the show. Maybe post show I might not be
yes,
available because
early
or maybe
morning you
cover
have to
ground.
wake
Maybe
up.
not do the
Mm,
pre-show, but wake
mm.
up early and do the post show or something of that sort. We'll
Yeah,
figure out. Don't worry. But we'll
exactly,
definitely keep doing something or the other for women's cricket.
exactly.
And maybe we can have a lunch show or something of that sort because it'll be 9
Maybe.
9:30 ish.
Yes,
It'll be
yes,
a nice time, but we will interact with you guys. All you guys need to do is subscribe to Rev Sports, click on the notification icon, and of course join us for all the shows possible. All the shows possible. I'm not asking you to keep
yes.
joining us for all the shows. As of now, 21st is the ODI, the first ODI.
Mm.
22nd is the first ODI. I'm so
22nd.
sorry.
Yes.
Yeah. Um 22nd I won't be there, so
Yes.
maybe we have to skip that. 22nd is my traveling day,
Mm.
but we will definitely do something before that and after that. But do keep joining us. As of now, good night. Thank you, Snehashish. Thank you, Novanil, for entering in the live at times, but also for, of course, staying awake and producing the live from back end. Thank you so
Yes.
much, everyone.
Yes.
Good night.
Bye bye. Good night.